Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Everyone, welcome to the show. 38-year-old North Carolina resident Dale Shalvey, who goes by DJ, was living in Pennsylvania when he traveled to D.C. with his now wife, Tara Stottlemyre, and one of their friends, Catherine Morrison. Upon entering the Capitol grounds, the three could see that they weren't welcome. Morrison took photos and videos of police trying to keep the mob away from the building. There was tear gas. There were non-lethal munitions other than tear gas being deployed. And in her video, she captured the Capitol Police ordering everyone to leave over the loudspeakers. You could hear that in her video. So they failed to comply, and they were on the west front of the Capitol when Shalvey struck an officer with some sort of object. And the prosecutor said he hit this officer so hard that you could hear the sound of it, how loud it was, the impact on the officer's body cam. Shalvey was also seen on video hurling an object at officers. He was at close range. And then a while later, just 9 minutes after the initial breach of the building, Shalvey and his co-defendants illegally entered the Capitol. They were all three wearing helmets. They joined the mob in the Capitol crypt. That's where the police were very outnumbered and they were overrun. I'm sure you've all seen the video of that with officers getting pinned between the mob and big columns. So Shalvey was heard and seen on video in that area. He was yelling, quote, "fuck yeah." They advanced further into the building after that, and they briefly entered Nancy Pelosi's office. And then they made their way over to the Senate chamber. And on the way to the Senate, Shalvey found zip ties. He found them in a cabinet and he stole them. He was, though, seen on video later, like a short time later, discarding them. But once they got inside the Senate chamber, all three of them were rifling through senators' desks. They were taking photos of documents that had been left behind when the senators fled. And Shalvey was captured on video removing a document off of a desk, and he placed it in his backpack. Well, approximately 45 minutes later, Shalvey and his now wife and the other woman exited the building, but they remained on the Capitol grounds for about another hour. So Shalvey was arrested on March 9th of 2021, and he was charged with civil disorder, assaulting officers, obstructing an official proceeding, theft of personal property within territorial jurisdiction, false statements, entering a restricted building or grounds, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, entering the floor of Congress, and parading or demonstrating in a Capitol. Following his arrest, Shalvey claimed that he wasn't aware of any violence toward the police. But he did admit to stealing a letter. It was a letter from Senator Mitt Romney to Vice President Mike Pence. And Shalvey said that he sent a photo of that letter to a friend, and then he destroyed it. He also admitted that he threw his phone away after the Capitol attack, so disposed of evidence. But then he tried to say that he only went to D.C. on January 6th to sell sausages. And just so you guys know, he and his wife run a farm. So that's where the whole sausage thing came in. Not that it's true, but anyway, eventually in October of 2022, Shalvey pleaded guilty to assaulting officers and obstructing an official proceeding. So he was facing up to 20 years in prison, 3 years of probation, and $250,000 in fines. However, the prosecutor requested 51 months in prison, 3 years of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. Shalvey has no prior criminal history, before this case at least, and he told the judge, quote, "I'm guilty, Your Honor, and I pray for my sins." U.S. District Judge Timothy Kelly presided over Shalvey's case, and he said that it concerned him to think of what Shalvey would have done to the lawmakers if he had found them on January 6th. Judge Kelly said, quote, "It's chilling for me to think what was going through his mind when he found them." The judge also told Shalvey and his co-defendants, quote, "You all played a role in one way or the other in what happened that day. There wasn't anything patriotic about it. It really was a national disgrace." In the end, the judge sentenced Shalvey to 41 months in prison, 2 years of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. So a decent sentence from this judge, which is a Trump-appointed judge. I should mention, too, that Shalvey and his wife were granted the ability to stagger their prison sentences because they had a baby in March. So for about 4 years, this little girl is going to grow up without at least one of her parents, all because they fell for Donald Trump's lies. You know, the children are always the only true victims in all of this. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate if you possibly can. It really helps to keep the show going. I greatly appreciate it. Appreciate all of you watching. Take care. Love you all. I'll talk with you soon.